I'll just wait because there's still more of us to come. Ooh, just scooch on over here, sitting on the ground like a true professional. Merida, do you want to come up here? Do you want to help? I have kittens just wandering around, being very naughty. Come here, Holly Dolly. I'm afraid you're going to walk into the mug, as you are prone to do. Yeah, there we go. That seems about right. Hello. Oh no. This might be a bit more chaotic than I thought it was going to be. Are you not going to fall asleep? No? No? Hello, Jennifer. How are you? I apologize. I have some naughty kittens. This one's Holly. She does not love me. She loves food and she loves mischief. That one there is Merida. She does love me. A little bit too much. She cries when I leave the room. This is my mug du jour, which actually is a replacement of my previous Winnie the Pooh mug, which was broken by the very naughty Holly and Merida. We still don't know who exactly managed to do that, but I suspect it was both, frankly. Where there's one, there's another. Look at Merida, what is she at? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Oh, you're so naughty. She's so naughty. She's such a good girl, though. I love how I just said, she's so naughty, she's such a good girl. She's like, I'm getting such mixed messages from you, Mother. Yeah, they're like, we don't know what's happening. You don't normally sit over here. Are you not going to sit over on the couch? What's happening? Oh no. Oh no. I fear them when they're like this, because it is normally like, oh, we're going to go off and do something we really shouldn't be doing. Which, fair. And I have a jackety thing on right now that is their favourite thing, because it feels like furry. So they just kind of assume I'm like a large cat. Isn't that right, Holly Dolly? Yeah, there'll be a lot of cats and kittens. Well, mostly kittens, because Cece's up in bed, Darcy's outside. But mostly the kittens just being here and doing something questionable. Yeah, they love, you see, when the telly is on, so they're like, oh my God, what's happening? Isn't that right? Particularly Holly. She has a good time with the old telly and loves it when I put on cat TV for them. Oh my goodness. Hello, Katie. How are you, my love? Yeah, there's Holly. You can see the little socks. Being naughty as always. And do you know what? 10 minutes before this, they were asleep. They were fine. And look at them now. Just willing to engage in any manner of destruction. Yes, thank you so much for joining me. I know I would normally do a live later in the afternoon when I'm doing like a live releases and rants. But the time that I had selected, a colleague actually messaged me and said she needed some help with statistics. So I was like, yes, I can do that. Come to mine. I will give you tea, and I need to go to the shops to get some biscuits because I don't really have any biscuits in my house because I'm trying to be a bit better. It's very annoying, very boring. Don't recommend it. I have the heating on. I have a mug of tea. I hope you all have your beverages. And I'll give it another minute or two, and then we'll get stuck into it because there are a few things to kind of discuss. Firstly, of course, like little news announcements that are relevant to makeup, and then just the actual makeup that has come out in the last week. The fact that I can do this on a weekly basis is a bit like, how much are we releasing, lads? Like, it's a lot. And I say this as somebody who is like obsessed. Yorkshire Tea Sports Direct mug. Oh my God. The Sports Direct mug is like, I feel like every house had that at some point. I don't have one here, but like it's iconic. My National Ataya, good to catch up with you all alive. I've missed the last few. Oh, well, it's good to see you too, my love. I mean, I was meant to do a live with members a while ago, and then my fucking head was like, no, you've got a migraine / headache. So Can never really tell how my health is going to go. Right, fuck it. Let's get into it. There's enough of us here. Debbie, my love, mwah, how are you? How are you? It's me. The kittens are here. That's Holly. Merritt is there. Oh, she's looking a little bit dodged. But we have a few things to talk about, as per usual. Massive thank you to everyone who's tagged me in bits, because frankly, I don't want to keep up with all of it. There's too much. Huge thank you to my YouTube community members. They will live forever. Can I necessarily manage to keep up that promise? No, but sure, fuck it. It's the intention that really matters in that instance, isn't it? Anyways, let's get into big news, right? I don't know about you guys who's signed up for Glisten Cosmetics. Love Glisten Cosmetics. They've done so well recently. Like, obviously they did their juicy tints recently, which I have a few in a basket, and I'm like, just wait, Teresa, wait. You don't need to get these. They've got their own, obviously, makeup line, which is like excellent. They got Bella Beauté Bar and they got Unearthly Cosmetics recently. And like, one of the biggest jewels in their crown was the fact that they had Blend Bunny. But here's the thing. There was an email that was sent on, was it Wednesday? Wednesday, something like that. Or it might have been Monday. When was I getting my shopping? Monday. Because I remember I was looking at my emails in the car as I was getting my click and collect. Because that's the life I live. Blend Bunny is leaving Glisten Cosmetics. So I was initially like, okay, is it just like that they're getting rid of old stock and any of the older collections they're getting rid of, and it's going to be the new ones? What's the story? And I thought it was interesting that it was on an email, but it wasn't over on their Instagram. So I was like, okay, this is really strange. So I decided I'd message, yes, thank you, kittens. I decided that I'd message Glisten, and they said, yes, they're going completely. And essentially it has to do with like trade agreements, etc., and taxes, duties, all of these particular things. So Blend Bunny is pulling out of their UK distributor, which is Glisten Cosmetics. However, Glisten are hoping it's not going to be a permanent thing. So it's not like anything has happened between the two owners or anything like that. It's just down to, let's call it what it is, Trump being a fucking prick. I mean, this is the least shitty thing he's done in the last while, but it's still, it affects people. These are people's businesses. So it's not like, oh, the relationship is completely severed and it will hopefully return again, but it's such a shitty thing to happen. I'm just going to look at you. I'm mad about this. Oh, Debbie, same. Gutted at the news. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, Glisten did say to me she will try again in a few months. And look, I fully believe that this will eventually get sorted, because people are learning to stand up. That the only thing that you can do with a bully, actually bully isn't a strong enough word for Trump. I'll never get into America. They'll be looking at my socials. Oh well. But the only thing you can do with somebody like that is to push back. Don't give in to them. Like they did that with Hitler back in the day, where they're like, okay, you can do whatever. I don't know what she's found behind the back of the TV. I think she managed to bring papers in there previously, so she's having fun. Has she played with that in the last week? No, but now that I'm over here, now she must. But I mean, we've given in to people in the past and it's not done well, so I think people are learning. Don't give in. And then when people don't give in or they retaliate with their own tariffs, he kind of goes, oh fuck, I didn't think that she would do the same thing. I was like, yeah. So I think like we're in that weird turmoil. Can't believe we've got a year of his presidency done, another 3 years to go. Fucking hell. But I do think, hi. Yeah, I swear to God, I'm trying to be a professional here, kittens. It's such dickheads. I can't do anything. But no, I think eventually it'll go back to how it should be. relieved that's the reason, and not that there's anything between the two owners. Yeah, I am too, because I was like, oh, that would be so unusual, because like Glisten is known for having really good relationships with the people that they work with. Blend Bunny has had multiple collabs with the same people, and like they even did a collab together. So I was like, if this is down to actual relationships, I'd be so annoyed. Yeah, we can't let him away with this. Well, I've been saying that for ages, Debbie. I'm like, people are too soft on him and let him kind of get away with all sorts, and that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, they're so cute and naughty, and I love that for them. Next bit of news. This is both surprising but also not surprising. Cover FX, for those of us who have been interested in makeup for any period of time, we'd know about Cover FX, right? They did like the highlighter drops, etc. One of their biggest items was this beautiful duo blush, which I tried to buy last year, around about this, no, it would have been like December of last year, because I tried them over at Daniela's and I was like, add to basket. And a month later they still hadn't shipped, so I was like, yeah, just cancel it and give me my money, because this is ridiculous. But they're gone, they're having their final clear out sale. That's it, no more Cover FX, end of an era. Yeah, I had tried Cover FX just from other people, but I don't have anything of it in my actual ridiculous makeup collection. Merida, I swear to God, I don't know what it is that she's got for herself back there. Actually, do you know what? Will I check? What have you got? What have you got? So she pops her little head up like, what? I've done nothing, Mum. Promise. You're a fucking menace. That's what you are. So yeah, Cover FX is gone. So, you know, it is what it is. The other next big thing to talk about, and by the way, all of this is in a PDF down in the description box. Go check it out. It's in a Google share. You should be able to get access to it. I swear to God. So, as many of you know, makeup has to go through a reformulation at the moment due to EU regulations and then the whole MOCRA thing. Viva, you're pretty. Hello, my love. Well, there's plenty of kitties here. There's two fucking Egypts right here. Actually, Holly's being very good at the moment. Merida is being a nuisance. So makeup is going through a reformulation. A lot of it is just down to... No, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what I feel. The guidelines are... I don't want to say nonsense, but they're kind of lazy, because the current formulations should be okay as long as they're regulated properly, but at the moment it's a little bit Wild West, and now they're just like, well, just don't do anything at all, and it's like, Anyways, it basically means that everything has to be reformulated, and quite a few people are noticing that things that they really enjoyed are going, or they're not being reformulated. Like, just as an FYI, anyone who loved the Urban Decay pencils, the eyeliner pencils, they're going. You can see they're going out of stock. Hello. I've bought a few just because like they're my ride or dies. And anyways, this fantastic creator over on TikTok, her name is Mai. She put together a Google document, which you can get there. So that's the little link for it. So she's compiled this incredible list that outlines discontinued or reformulated products due to, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, cyclopentasiloxane and cyclohexacyclohexane. Very difficult. Can I say gamma aminobutyric acid? Yes, I can. Can I say that? No, I can't. Anyways, she's done this incredible list. So if you're looking to see if any of the and she's adding to it all the time. So if you're looking for any of your favorites that you're worried are going to get reformulated or what the story is, she's got the whole thing there. So check it out. And also give her a follow, because like that's a lot of work. Like, well done. She's very, very good. Anyways, let's get into the actual new makeup. Last week, I was only just talking about Natasha Denona, and I was kind of saying, oh, last year she was averaging about one release a month, which I felt was personally too much. Worst affiliate ever. Because I'm just like, when you're an expensive brand, like, keep it chill. Keep it chill. Maybe do 2 eyeshadow palettes a year and then have your other 2 launches be like maybe a few little things. So last week we had a bunch of those glossy balm things. This week we have an extension to an existing blush line. So these are the High Blush Cloudy Cream Cheek Duo shade extensions. There's Lush Lila, which is the more pinky one, and then there's Nude Muse. They're $42 each, so they're not inexpensive, right? Obviously, you could use my code Teresa for money off, and every time somebody uses one of my affiliate codes, an angel gets their wings. I will say, right, I'm in several minds about this. Because A, do I have a lot of blush? Fuck yes. And I only blush these cheeks, not these cheeks. Or maybe I do, who knows? But like, there's only so much blush that I need. And yet, and by the way, this is not like coming up true to colour on, yes, we all hear you. This is not coming up true to colour on my TV. So do have a little look at Google Doc down in the bottom. Because this is much more purpley and this is way more nude. And like, yes, I'm more attracted to this, but also I'd happily have this. But in my mind, am I okay with spending $84 on 2 blushes? Like, that's a lot of money. It's a lot, like, let's be real, like it's a lot. But it does look beautiful. Like, this is the Lush Lila, which was the first one that kind of caught my eye, and I thought, yeah, that is nice. And they do have like 2 different formulas, and I do have I think is two of the ones that they have already of this. So I can't even talk about being like, it's expensive. Because Teresa, you foolish bitch, you've bought it before. But I do think it looks very, very nice. Like, look at it even on the face. I appreciate the fact that they've actually shown it on the face. How many brands are showing us like face products and then being like, we did not think to show it on the face. Meredith is on the window and she's like, what are you doing? Is it that your brother's there? Yeah, she's flirting. She's currently on heat. Don't worry, I'm getting her neutered in the next 2 weeks. Mimi, my love, how are you? Yeah, it is Darcy. Sorry, Darcy. When I've done this, I'll come out to you. And by this, I mean just talking about this blush. Anyways, I think it's really pretty. I just am like, I don't know if I can spend that much on a blush right now when I have as much as I have. If, however, and I hope it never happens, that my something happened to my makeup collection and I had to start from scratch, I probably would go into this straight away because I do like the formula. I absolutely do. But I don't need it. And I'm actively trying to stop myself from purchasing stuff without a good purpose or thought. Like, I got a lot of the eyeliners from Urban Decay because I know I love them and they're going. So I was like, I'm buying a lot of those. That's what a lot of my money actually has gone into this month, has just been like buying backups of fucking eyeliners. But I'm like, okay, we'll be okay. I do like, however, the more what you call it, nudie one. That's what they're calling it, Nude Muse. Now I think it's a lot more warm. Like, even the TV is picking it up as quite warm, and yeah, it does look quite warm. I do think it's just whatever the calibration of this TV is, so like, don't really heat it. Oh, hello Darcy. Sorry, there's another cat here, look. That's my noble boy Darcy. He's so handsome. I think that one looks really nice as well. Do have a little look at the, what you call it, PDF. Sorry, I have to let him in because he's so sad. Come on in, Darcy. Come on, the kittens won't hurt you. I promise. He hates the kittens. The kittens love him. Merida in particular. Oh God. Yes. Yes. Oh no. Oh, violence. There we go. Well, sorted that much out. I'm just going to feed him. Talk amongst yourselves. It's all right, Darcy. You'll be fine. You survived the kittens and the echoes. Let your brother eat. You love him, but he does not love you. And you have to accept that. No was a full sentence, Merida. Sorry, Merida has a real thing about Darcy. She's like, I love him. She also loves Cece. So, hello? Yes, not everything is about you. Oh, hello, Holly. Hi. Do you know what's terrible about this? I got up early and I was like, I'm going to make sure all of their needs are met. I'm going to clean out their litter trays. I'm going to feed them. I'm going to have some time to cuddle them. Did all of that. And they still are like, nah, fuck that bullshit, mother. We will do what we want when we want. Which is very... Would you please leave the rice cakes alone? What do I even say to that? Yeah, so I think the blushes are nice, but I just think... I just can't justify it at the moment. That's the thing. The old Natasha Denona cream blushes dry out so fast. That's the thing. I think unless you guys know I love Natasha Denona, but I'm not going to go around being like, oh my God, buy everything, woo. We don't need to do that. We can just calm. Let's just think very deliberately about what it is that we're getting. But I think where these are great is if you're the sort of person that wears the same blush every single day and you just buy one blush and that's it. Then it's fucking fantastic for that. But other than that, I think for those of us who are like obsessive makeup users, not so much. I'm glad that you appreciate the kitty TV. I have ordered one of the Natasha lip glosses only because I had a £10 gift card. Do you know what, Debbie? Fair. And will you let me know what it's like? Actually, no, don't, because if it's lovely, then I'm going to be really angry. I hope it's awful. I'm joking. I hope you like it. Always appreciate kitty TV. Love the kitties. Worth waking up just to see them. Good, because I offer fuck all. But you can tell, at least with the way that they run around, they're very happy and they're very cared for. So some might say a little bit too cared for. But yeah, no, they're having a what are you doing up there? Oh no. Leave that alone. Sorry, they're always up to some sort of level of mischief. Anyways, that's one of the Natasha Denona releases. But here's another. So within the space of 2 weeks, we've got 3 releases. Granted, one is a brand new item, which were the high gloss balm things. And then 2 releases are extensions. Sorry, they're just galloping around. But I still feel like it's a lot of stuff. So the extra things that they came out with are almost, I think, are completely linked to those high gloss balms, because even the shade names link in with 2 of the shades, Cherry Blossom and Cherry Cola, that came with the gloss balm things. So these are the I Need a Nude lip liner shades. Like I said, Cherry Cola and Cherry Blossom, they're $24 each. Again, you can use a code, who gives a shit, which is Teresa. Oh my God, they fully lost their minds. Here's the thing. I do like their lip liners. I do. I really do. One of my favourite, and I think a few of you would have seen me wearing it around Christmas, that I always go for is the Amelia lip liner. It's very red, and the matching Amelia lipstick. If it's not that, then it's Gigi. The lip liner and the lipstick, again, red. I really like their lip liners, and I feel like $24 is not terrible. It's not amazing. It's not like, oh my God, such a bargain. But I'm like, I feel like I could be coaxed into that a bit quicker, which I don't need. Somebody remind me I don't need that. I'm not big on cream blush, probably because I've just been wearing powder blush forever. Totally fair. And this is the thing, everyone has their preferences. I personally love a cream blush, and then I shove a bit of powder on top just to help it like set in a little bit better. I think it works well for me because I have quite dry skin. I'm trying to take care of it a little bit better. My poor dermatologist. But you were quiet all morning. I don't know how much of that you can hear, but they can actually move furniture, by the way. It's insane. And I had to take the Christmas tree down early in January because they kept breaking bits off of it. So they were the kittens that were so naughty that Christmas left early. I love them. Let's see. Debbie, yeah, I love the Natasha Denona lip liners too. I think they're really, really good. So this is the one that I'm like, ooh, I used to wear lip liners all the time, but now I like a lip tints or sheer dark lips. This is the thing, like our tastes are always evolving. What you might have liked, we'll just say 3 or 4 years ago. Think about even like makeup trends. You know how they're being all like, oh, 2016 makeup is back. Everything is a trend, right? We'll also go for products based upon like what is not quite viral, but if we see that there's a certain product that is coming out repeatedly, like say cream blushes, tints, blah, 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 we're more likely to try it out because it's just the sheer familiarity effect, right? So of course, I still love a lip liner. I'll wear them actually with a lip tint as well, just because I'm like more is more is more. But these shades, they're looking quite nice. Now don't trust this telly. I think I need to like mess about with the colors on it because it's not quite right. If you look at the PDF, this is really dark and vampy. Like it's much brighter here, but this isn't actually a true. What are you doing? What are you doing? I do have superhero kitties, but this is quite nice. Now again, it's actually much darker than that. So have a little look, go down to the description box, open the PDF that's in the Google Drive folder. What are you doing? You ruin everything. But check that out because I think that one looks really nice. I like it, but I like a dark vampy lip. I do. Mind you, I think there's very few like lip colours that I'm like, oh, I won't wear. Because I like a nude. I like it when my lips look like they're dead. I love a red. I love a vampy red. So I'm cool with whatever. The cherry cola does look nice. I agree. And then the other one is a lot more safe. You'll again notice that these kind of go along with the lip gloss balms that they did. This is Cherry Blossom. It's a little bit more cool toned in the PDF as an FYI, so keep that in mind. But it is quite nice. Like it's fine. I feel like that's a little bit more pedestrian, a little bit more safe. Yes, Merida, we do hear you. If you asked me which one I wanted, it's the Cherry Cola. It is. However, I got 2 lip liners from Cosmic when they were doing their lip liners, and I've got some new ABH lip liners as well. I don't need any more. I don't. I have a pencil case, like a pencil case that has like little slots in it of lip liners, because that's the fucking world that I live in. Oh, also I've got some backups of MAC lip pencils because they're going to be reformulated as well, just in case anyone is very specific on their MAC lip pencils. Be very aware of that. They're getting reformulated. So if there's a few that you have as a ride or die, maybe think about getting a few. Oh, Katie, the Cosmic lip liners, perfection. Love them. They're so good, really creamy, budge proof. They will blend really nicely so that you can have an ombre. Like I've worn them, like not alone, but I've worn them as a lip liner and then with lip gloss. It's been beautiful. I've worn them as a lip liner with lipstick and with lip gloss. And I've worn them as a lip line, just doing the whole lip. Oh, they're really good. Well worth it. Well worth it. Honestly, I feel like that was such a strong launch. And don't get me wrong, I love Cosmic for their eyeshadow palettes, but I love seeing them doing extra things because they are very able to do it. They're really, really good. And when you look at, I'm the worst fucking affiliate ever. I'm like, Cosmic Brushes are cheap, or Cosmic Brushes ones are cheaper than this. So that's kind of stopping me. I am trying to actively pull myself back from things, because I have a lot. I know I have too much. It is still a special interest, and I will continue to get things from it, but I am trying to be a bit more mindful on it. You know, it's a whole thing. So in terms of the, essentially the Natasha Denona stuff that's come out, I don't think it's bad. I think it's quite nice, but it's not something that I personally need, you know? And I think for people who are very choosy about their makeup, who might only have, and I have friends who are like this, who have like one blush or one lip liner, this could be perfection for them, right? This could be exactly what they're looking for, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that for me, when I have the collection that I have, I can't justify going off and getting extra ones. I like to smudge a whole lip with lip balm on top. Wasn't keen on bullet lipstick, shade Nancy, beautiful, but formula too thick yet dry. Totally fair, Katie. I mean, this is, I'm always reluctant to kind of recommend things, because what I might love, somebody else is sitting there going, oh, this isn't for me at all, you know? And that's fine, it's grand. But I do like the lip liners, and I feel like most of us like the same things in lip liners, so it's a fairly safe one. The Purple Cosmic blush is so good. It is. I'm interested in the new ones from Kaleidos because they have interesting shades. I may have gotten a few. I may. And I think I got 2. Yes. So they're really nice. They are very, very nice. I must do a video on them at some point. Hi, user or Q. I'll just call you user, which sounds really bad, but it is what it is. Hi, Trax, my love. Yeah, the kittens are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. Trax, I love that you know that I would have fucking gone off and gotten that. I also got the balms, you know, the glossy balms. I hate myself, but also I'm very happy with myself. They are gorgeous. So yeah, with the Natasha, it's grand, but I don't need it. Worst affiliate ever. Then we have Singe Beauty. By the way, if you want to get any of these things, down in the description box, there's links. Anything with an asterisk next to it is an affiliate link. So just be aware, I'd make a commission. I don't want anyone doing anything without full awareness. But this is Singe Beauty. If you don't know Singe Beauty, this is Angelica Nickfist's brand. And she has been plugging away. She started off with her brushes, and it's really expanded. She's had several eyeshadow palettes now. She's actually expanding her blush line, and she just seems to go from strength to strength. So with that evocative blush line, she's added 4 new shades. There's Likeable Lychee, Classy Cloudberry, Fearless Fig, and Pretentious Plum. They're $18 each, but there is apparently a deal where you could choose from 3 shades and bundle them together for $48. And there is the palette for $48. Now this palette reminds me a little bit of, and I cannot remember the brand. Are they even still a thing? They used to do a lot of animal-based palettes. There was like a whale palette at one point. There was a bat palette. They had a seal palette. Why can I not remember? And I bought something. I remember buying something from them because they had done a collaboration with somebody and it never shipped, and I had to get my money back, and it was a bit of a disaster. But it reminds me a little bit of that whale palette that they had, or an ink palette. Menagerie, my love, thank you. Sorry, my brain is just not working. That's exactly who I was thinking of. It reminds me a little bit of Menagerie. Not completely, but there's something about it that reminds me a little bit of that. This is the first palette from Singe that I like. Honestly, I think she's done very, very well. And the blushes, I agree with you, Debbie, they look stunning. And for that price, it's not bad at all. So let's get into the actual palette. It launched yesterday. Cine Reviews, who was on everything, my goodness. But I think partly because they're just so good at showcasing things. Like, look at those swatches. Pretty darn good. I love the level of depth, and there's a nice level of light in there as well. I do feel, and this might just be me, and feel free to disagree, I'd probably have to go in with an extra palette just because I don't have quite enough light shades in there to make a whole look. Now that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You know, when people say, oh, you can't make a full, I'd have to dip into other palettes. I think that's what a lot of people have to do. Nothing bad with dipping into your other palettes. Use your stuff, you know. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, I probably would have done really, really nicely. I think the price point is pretty darn good. I love that color story, but I hate CB formula. Totally fair, totally fair. But I think it looks really nice. I think she's done a very good job with this. Singe has shown it off really, really nicely. I'd just find I'd like some extra lighter shades, but I have loads in my collection that I could toss about with that. And I think it's interesting that the lighter shades that she has are all of the shimmers, which I think is very, very strategic, because that's what a lot of people are doing these days, is they're taking their lighter shades and kind of tapping them on almost like toppers. I think it's done very well, so kudos for that. The blushes, ooh, I'm sorry, but every time I see that sort of a purple, where's my finger? Sorry, there we go. Every time I see that sort of a purple, I lose my mind. I just think they're really, really beautiful. And I love that there's like a neutral shade there, the Likeable Lychee. So hard to find a more neutral blush. They look really, really nice, I have to say. And I haven't heard anyone say anything negative about Singe Beauty. Anytime I ever bring them up, somebody's like, I love their brushes, I love this, I love that. And I mean, we were just talking at the beginning about how Cover FX has gone. It's such a difficult market. The fact that Angelica has kept this brand going now for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years, something like that. That's a testament to several things. Firstly, to like her personality. There's a certain amount that, because she's a content creator, she's going to have people, that's going to translate into sales. But if your products aren't then backing that up, you won't have repeat sales. So it speaks to A, her charisma, but B, the product's efficacy and their value, and it speaks to the customer service. I haven't gotten anything from them yet because, again, like I said, I'm trying, not that I'm on a no buy or a low buy, but I am really trying to be a lot more conscious in what I'm buying, because one of the things that I have a tendency to do is just completely lose reason and be like, wee, and I'm just like, I can't be doing that. I have kittens to take care of. It looks like a mini version of Sugar and Grind. I see that, actually, Track. That's a very good point, actually. And I do have that one. I often make a 1 or 2 shade look, or just one matte and the rest shimmers. Oh, Mimi, that's the way to do it. Honest to God, I need to do more of that, because I'm an idiot in that I'll either be like, no, I'm wearing no makeup at all, or if I'm wearing makeup, it's balls to the wall. Let's, in 2023, oh, well, there you go, 3 years. Wasn't far off. When I'm wearing makeup, it's like, let's do it all. So I'm blending, I'm cut creasing, I'm putting shit, like, it's ridiculous. And I need to just learn to do more chilled out makeup. But there's something about, once I sit down, I'm like, well, that's it, we're doing the whole thing. The blush shades are really nice. I agree, Viva. The purple looks too light for me. Mimi, I think that's a really good point. And we see this a lot with brands, that when it comes to things like blushes, the shades are very, how do I say this, Caucasian leaning. Like, it'll be grand on me, but Jesus, that's something that we do really have to be aware of. Do you guys think that her brand will survive if she cuts back on YouTube? Mimi, that is a very, very good point. I think it'll really struggle. I do. I think it would struggle. because it's back down to that familiarity effect, right? If you see somebody who is so linked with a brand all the time, you're that more likely to potentially engage with it. But I have heard good things about it, but it's things like the brushes. And I mean, unless you're a fool like me, you buy a set of brushes and you just leave it like that. I'm an idiot where if I like brushes, I'm like, well, I'll get another one just in case, right? It's hard to know how much of these are translating into complete repeat purchases. And she doesn't have to do a massive marketing campaign like a lot of other brands might have to do because she's already on social media. So like she can kind of essentially do her own marketing in that sense. So she cuts back on a certain amount of outgoings on that. So I don't know. I'd hope that it would all go well for her. I'm like you and I can't find a middle ground. I'm getting better with using a matte stick or liquid eyeshadow and then a shimmer on the entire lid. Oh, fair play. You're the same, my not a lot. Fabulous. Oh, that is a good point. I need at least an hour to do my makeup. Oh god, yeah. No, I'm the same. Because I'm like, I either look like I've been dragged through a bush, case in point, or I look, here's my one claim, my one amazing claim, and I cling to this. I once went to the cinema. That's not the claim. I once went to the cinema in a full beat and I had triple cut crease. And the guy behind the counter was so amazed with my makeup, and this is a true story, that he said I could have whatever sweets I wanted. And I was like, what? He's like, no, they're on me. Like, that's incredible. That's artistry. And I was like, yes, you've reinforced my behavior. So yeah, I'm either all or nothing. That's just, there is no middle ground. 1 hour, I can't do anything if I don't have 1.5. Yeah, the more time I have, the better. I hate being rushed. Hate it. It really freaks me out. Yeah, I'd be the same tracks. I like to have a period of time where I'm just like relaxing. I love listening to like an audiobook or music and just being like, painty, because I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to be like running through it either, you know? As soon as I'm like not enjoying it, I will just totally disengage. I have no interest in it. Anyways, in terms of the Singe stuff, I think it's a very, very nice launch. Well done to her. It's nice to see that it's clearly going well for her as a brand. Kudos. I really like it. We then have Terra Moon Cosmetics. This is their Veil of Winter Skies. The whole palette bundle thing together is $98, but apparently you can get it separately, like you can get singles from it. Again, I'm bringing up Cine Reviews because they're just constantly doing these fantastic videos, really showcasing things. This looks beautiful. The first thing that I thought of was about, was it a year ago or so, Glaminatrix did a 6-pan blue palette, and I got that, and it kind of reminds me of that. So in my mind, I'm kind of thinking I don't really need that. I think 2 of those dark shades look quite similar. So I'd kind of be like, don't know if I necessarily need that. Bella Beeb Tebar Realm of Fairies. Yes. And this is the thing I think is very difficult about doing monochromatic colour stories. I said the same thing when I was talking about the wonderful Deandra Nicole's palette last week. I think she's so talented. But it's always, I think, a bit of a risk going for a monochromatic palette because they're done so extensively. Most brands have them at some point, and then it's all coming down to like formula preference, or even just, you know, you might love greens, but it might be those shades of greens. Maybe you like more yellow toned greens. Maybe you prefer more blue toned greens. Maybe somebody doesn't want that type of blue. Do you know what I mean? So there's always a little bit of a risk in going with a monochromatic story. This is very, very pretty. Now I'm going to show you the video because there was a video with it, and that's going to give you a little bit more context. Play, video, play. There we go. Look at those shimmers. Doo-doo. I forgot to take off the music. Yeah, professional as always. What have you done? Sorry, I just heard a crash. Bearing in mind that they did break my favourite Winnie the Pooh mug, but I was able to replace it because it was a Tesco Finest mug. Yeah, I think you're right there, Mimi. It is a very like winter story. So I think in the midst of January, it is a bit odd, kind of when we're trying to get out of all of that darkness. But I don't really mind too much because I get why people would care about seasons, and I've brought it up as a point myself. But like, if you like a colour story, you like a colour story, you know? I do feel like $98, 'tis expensive. It is for 10 eyeshadows. There, I had to quickly add it up. I've never tried anything from the brand. I wish we could see swatches in natural light before purchasing. Tracks, I am 100% with you. Why is it that you think that when I do my swatching Sundays, I do it so fucking intensely and try to get out into natural light? I'm in rooms with minimal lighting, high lighting, low lighting. I'm like, let's do it so we can have as informed a decision as possible. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion at all. I think there's a lot of us that want that level of information because we're thinking about the general conditions that we'd actually be wearing them. And like, swatches are grand, right? Don't get me wrong, but like, who's laying on an eyeshadow even in that way? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you necessarily taking an eyeshadow and swiping it on your eye like that? Sometimes I mean, there's multiple ways that you can kind of view these things and try to get a picture of whether or not it's going to work for you. But these things can be a little bit tricky. Now, I think this is a lovely colour story, but because I have something very similar in a 6-pan Glaminatrix, I don't need it. I don't. I have a lot of blue toned palettes. I even have the lovely Winter Wonderland palette that's from Cosmic Brushes, and I feel like there's a little bit of, not an overlap, but there's some similarity there, which kind of stops me from totally losing my mind, which is quite frankly a good thing. I like Terra Moon, but I prefer Davina, but they are my favourite brand for singles. Totally fair. God, I haven't bought anything from Davina in years. I think it's just I'm not great with singles. I'm not. Very, very naughty with those. Although I did get some Wycon singles recently, and they are really good, so I'm not against it. But yeah, it's not a bad one, just not one I necessarily need. We have a new influencer brand. Shush. We have a new influencer brand, and for those of you who might have seen the name Bad to the Brow, it's been around, she's been around for a while. Her name is Millie. She's done a lot of like content creation for brands in the past, like when Diver Rune has done their stuff. Bad to the Brow has done like pictures of swatches, etc. She's now done her own brand, so fantastic to her. Angela, hello my love. You've missed a little bit of kitten antics, but don't worry, you'll be all right. This is a new brand. It's called Starborn Cosmetics, and this is the nascent, yes, the nascent color story. It has 8 mattes and 4 shimmers. It's $47. It's available now. It's cruelty free, and all the shades are vegan except for one, which is ephemeral. So actually quite good to know that. So it's not entirely vegan, right? So keep that in mind if that is something very important to you. What I really appreciated about this is when I went over to the brand's website, they had kind of the standard picture of the palette in studio lighting, grand, and they had some really good swatches. And then they were like, here's a picture of the palette taken on an iPhone in natural light. And I was like, oh, that's really helpful. Because coming back to what Trax was even saying there, getting it in lots of different lighting is really, really helpful to make an informed decision. And it's really good to see them even linking in with content creators around making the swatches. I mean, this is a new brand, and they're showing these swatches on a variety of skin tones. Not a bad one. $47. I mean, yes, I know it's primarily mattes. It's getting a bit nippy. I know it's primarily mattes, but that's not necessarily a bad price. It's not bad. I think it's tricky for anyone to do a new brand these days for several reasons. A, the market is saturated. B, the economy is shit, right? Cost of living is through the fucking roof. Good luck going and getting your groceries and having it being less than, like, I'd struggle. How much am I paying for groceries a week? Now, this is excluding the cat stuff. IDs, yes, exactly. You are very expensive. I just spent €300 on them actually for food and stuff. Come here, Holly Dally. No, you're ignoring me. I would spend about €100 a week just on groceries and cleaning stuff. So like, it is a hard time for anyone to do a brand because people just don't have the disposable income that they might have had at one point. Oh, Tracks, the plan is to show you the Wycon because I think they're comparable to, and this is going to sound a bit whatever, I think they're comparable to the Patrick Ta duos, the shimmery duos, and to some of the special shades in the Pat McGrath palettes. So my plan is to do a video where I'm going to find similar shades and try and get people to figure out which side is which side is Wycon, and which side is the more expensive brand. That's my plan. I have every Davina shade except the latest launch. Jesus, Mimi, well done. These colours look nice, but not together. Yeah, I totally get it. Do you know what this reminds me of? Remember Beauty Bay did that palette that they discontinued? Why is my brain not working? And it was, I really liked it because I like these sort of tones together because I'm a bit fucking weird. What was it called? Oh, Viva, my love. Keep a little eye out. Sometimes they're in TK Maxx, or as it would be known where you are, TJ Maxx. Keep an eye out. Italian baked formula. And the ingredients, and they're listed in the same manner, are the same as like the special shades in Pat McGrath and Wilderness. Thank you, Katie. Thank you. They're in the same format as Pat McGrath and Patrick Ta. Keep a little eye out. Keep a little eye. And sometimes they've like sales on their website. I got them when it was like buy 3 get 2 for free, and I was like, so naturally I bought 15 altogether. I was like, that doesn't even count. I've only like paid for 9 or something like that. Yeah, 9. And it was worth it, trust me. Anyways, yeah, I can see how this would be sort of a colour story that wouldn't be for everyone. I quite like it. I do, because it reminds me of the Wilderness. But because it reminds me of the Wilderness, I have the Wilderness. And at the time that they were saying it was a limited edition palette, which they ended up bringing back because Beauty Bay have no more new ideas, I had bought a backup because I loved that palette so much. I do still love that palette quite a lot. This is my kind of a colour story. I like this, right? But that's subjective, right? That's fine, right? I'd get use out of this just because I like weird colours together. I feel like the price point isn't bad. $47. I think she'll do well. She's a decent following. I think it's like 23,000 or something on YouTube. I agree about the market being saturated, but it just doesn't stop indie brands from popping out of nowhere. So I don't know what to think. That's what I wonder as well, Tracks. I'm just like, where are they getting the back? Like, where's the finances coming from? I'd love to do a brand, but I need to... Myself and Daniela have talked about it for ages, but we're both like, we each want to get some additional skills before we think about doing that. Like, I want to do a course on makeup artistry at some point, just so I have more of an understanding of these things. But I don't know how it's happening. You know, it's kind of great for the consumer in the sense that we've lots of choices, but it does also mean that sometimes it feels a bit overwhelming. Or maybe it's just me, I feel overwhelmed. Because I'm sitting here every week being like, why is there more? Even though, like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to. Yes, Viva, go and check them out. Check them out and you let me know what you find. It also looks like the latest palette from Terra Moon's Officious or something like that. It does. It does. Good point. Good point. Anyways, I don't think it's necessarily tracks. I also wake up overwhelmed. It's my many anxiety disorders. But yeah, I think it's a grand release. Like, well done. Kudos to them. Price point is good. Let us get on. Wycon is not cheap. Really? Because it's like, to get a single here, it's like €12. And when you compare that formula is the same as, like, say, the Patrick Ta Duo, which is 42, so it'd be €21 each. It's much cheaper, and it's the same sort of formula that's in the Pat McGrath. I'm not saying like they're super, super cheap, but they're affordable for what they are, because they're like a baked formula. But I keep an eye out, because I did manage to, yes, they're very worth it during the sales, because I got the 3 and 2 for free, which was on around Christmas. So keep an eye out. That's what I would, next time I see a sale, I'll let you know. I'll put it onto like a YouTube community, because I didn't want to put it on because I wasn't sure what the story was, like, as in I wasn't sure if they were worth the quality. So I don't want to tell somebody about something unless I'm like willing to go to bat for it, if that makes sense. But I'll let you know if I see anything else going on. Oh, is there a sale? Oh, very good. They are good. They are good. It's 15 CHF. That's a bit more in euro. Because they were like €12 each when I was getting them. And I was like, that's grand. I'm happy with that. Madness. Madness. Anyways, next thing we have to talk about is Twilight. I guess Stephanie Meyer is really trying to milk that cash cow, because how many Twilight pieces of shite have we seen? We've seen it from Glamlight. We've seen it several times now from Colourpop, because they're like, let's do all of the franchises. We've seen it from She Glam. It's all over the place. Anyways, this is the Colourpop Twilight Eclipse collection. The Eclipse eyeshadow palette is $25. There's 2 Jelly Much shadows, the shades Newborn Army and Cullen Coven. They're €10 each, or you can get the 2 together for $18. There's the Change Me Eclipse Luminous Highlighter for $15. The Newborn Eclipse Matte Liquid Lipstick for $12. And then there's the Eclipse Lip Liner and Lipstick Set. They come in the shades Opposites Attract and New Love. They're $16 each, or you can get both for $28. But if you wanted the entire collection, it's $93. There's a lot. Do you know what I was thinking when I saw the palette in particular? I was thinking of that Blend Bunny Haunted palette. It reminded me of that quite a bit. I actually don't think it's bad. Like, I don't hate it. It makes a lot of sense for what it is. It's grand. Personally, I'm not really that bothered. The Jelly Much shadows look okay. The lip sets look all right. The highlighter looks all right. It's kind of, that's what it is. It's all right. You know, I'm not going to go to bat for it. I have the Glamlight collection passing on Colourpop. Yeah, you're totally right. Totally fair. Lol, I thought the CP was a re-release. Is it a new one? Everything looks the same. Isn't that the truth, Mimi? This is a new one, but they've re-released New Moon. It's so much stuff. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there comes a point where you do start to think, am I losing my mind? Have I not seen this before? And no, this is actually new. But if you're sitting here thinking, this reminds me of this, this, and this, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because we've seen this sort of shit many a time before. Like, look at that palette. In sheer Colourpop style, look at the lack of saturation. Like, bar these last 4 shades, look at how fucking pale it is. Who's that going to work for? The fuck is that about? They always do this. They always do this. And here's the thing. They have their own fucking... Sorry, I'm so sweary today. They have their own factory. So, like, they can change their formulas. They can make sure that they're making them to have sufficient depth. But they don't. And that drives me absolutely wild. It's fine if people are into collecting these things. I'm not going to judge you. I do collect things myself. I don't personally think this is worth collecting. Like, it's so light, you know? Well, it's so, I don't get it. Anyways, I feel like I've said enough on that. The Jelly Much shadows, they're okay. They're fine. I mean, I think you kind of get a better feel of them when they're on the eye. This is pulling a bit warmer on the TV than it is in the PDF, so go check that out. It's grand. It's grand. Like you said, Colourpop used to be fun, but now they're boring. It feels like it's a copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Let's not try to do anything new. And I don't understand that. I truly don't. When they have a factory at their fingertips, they can afford to go backwards and forwards and change things. And the consistent feedback has been that, yes, they do look photoshopped. I agree. The consistent feedback has been that these shades are only going to work on people who have a very fair skin tone, that, you know, they're not complex enough, the shadows haven't really been augmented in quality. Like, when it's there, why are you not interacting with that? Like, it's wild to me. I haven't bought Colourpop in years. It was like releases every week. I had to step away. I agree, Viva. Yeah, I have a few Colourpop things, but because obviously being Irish, I'd have to pay for taxes and duties, etc. It didn't really make a lot of sense for me to keep up or buy the weekly releases. It was too much. Like, it's affordable in the US, but it's not as affordable here. And I just don't think it's personally worth it. Maybe they think we're affordable, so we don't need to improve. I think there's a certain amount of that tracks. I do. And I mean, call me naive, but just because something is affordable, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't still be interesting and that it shouldn't still try to serve the customer's needs and make them feel like they're having a fun and special experience. Right? Yes, the palette's $25, but that $25 could be a lot to somebody. That could be like a chunk of what their groceries were that they have kind of gone without so that they could have that instead. Give them an experience. Give them something special. I don't like this attitude of, we're a cheap brand, we can just give them slop and they'll say thank you. No. Like, they're a cheap brand, but they're still making a profit. They are. They're not running this as a charity out of the goodness of their hearts. But I think there's something that could be done, that they should be trying to move forward and improving. And maybe it's just, again, me being naive and idealistic. And obviously, as a psychologist, you're constantly engaging in continuous professional development. You want to be better than you were before. I don't get why brands don't want to do that. Why they're happy just stagnating and just letting it be there and saying, well, our customers will come back because our price point is good. Doesn't matter if your price point is good, right? Because eventually, if somebody figures out that they could get a better experience elsewhere, they'll save that money up and go, right, I want to have something really special. Instead of getting that palette, that $25 palette with Colourpop, they might say, right, instead of that, I'm going to get like a little mini Natasha Denona for the same price. And they'll get a better experience with it. Like, this is what I'm saying. I don't like that whole thing. They were too stupid to fill out the custom forms correctly, and I had to pay extra a few times. Stop me from buying. Oh, Mimi, I never knew what the customs was going to be. It was like a fucking roulette. So it was too stressful, and I just stopped. Wasn't interested. But even in terms of the highlight, right? This is the highlight. I do appreciate that they put it on a deeper skin tone. But I think with something like this, I want to know, is that leaving a cast on a deeper skin tone? Because we've just seen it from one angle. With something like this, we need to see a video. So when she's moving her head to the side, are we still seeing that stripe? Or does it just fade in? Because that's a really, really important point for highlight. Right, I like the idea of it, like a blue toned highlight. I love that. I think a blue toned highlighter is gorgeous. But it could go wrong very, very quickly. A fucking liquid lipstick, whatever. There's something about this packaging, maybe it's just me, but it reminds me a little bit like the Hershey's Kisses. Not that we have them here, but I watch a lot of American content, so I'm like, I don't really get this, and I don't see where this fits in with it when they have other lip kits. Wilma, my love, how are you? You deserve a sleep in, my love, you do. And I'm so sorry that you've come in on this Colourpop that you've wandered into. And why does the highlighter look the same on every matte? Ain't that the question, Mimi? Ain't that the question? Why does it look the same? I mean, it looks like they've photoshopped their swatches. Who's to say they're not photoshopping highlight on? Right? Just because you're cheap, it doesn't mean you can fuck us over, right? There's plenty of very good, affordable brands. Look at Rude Cosmetics. They're excellent for the price point. Excellent. Yeah, photoshopping swatches? Never. Should never do that. Colourpop. And then they have that liquid lipstick, and then they're like, oh yes, but also here's some more lip things. And this is what gets me whenever a brand is doing out a full collection. Why do we need 50 different lip products? We don't. Choose one and be done with it. The fact that they had that liquid lipstick and then they went, but also here's 2 separate sets, right? There's this one, which is the Opposites Attract one. Whatever. Don't give a shit. I've seen this 5 million times from Colourpop, from 50 other brands. I don't care. They're only trying to get us based upon, it's Twilight. You'll buy it because you're foolish and have no thought structures. This one is a little bit better. It's the, what is it, Cullen's Coven or whatever. It's a little bit better. But even then, I'm like, I can shop my collection and I can get better. I know I can get better. It's just, I get it. You know, they're like, we must make profit. But could you maybe eat into that profit slightly, right? And get the gang together in the boardroom and actually think about the products that you're doing. Actually sit and meaningfully digest what you're doing. And then have a look on that website and think about the way that you're portraying the things. I want to see videos of things so that I can determine whether those highlights are actually like proper, or am I getting like weird cast sort of a situation. Show us that. But they're too greedy and they'll keep their profits because they're like, well, you have no alternatives, there's only so many cheap brands. No, I don't have to buy shit from you. I don't want to. Reducing my margin. Have you lost your mind? Exactly, tracks. That's exactly it. And I don't understand that. Because, again, if I was to have a brand, I'd want to make sure that each thing that we're doing would be better than the last thing, and that anything that we were getting feedback on that needed to be improved would have to be improved. I don't get that. I understand logically, like, people want to make money. Again, I'm not saying run a charity, but improve on things. What do you do? Oh, sorry, this has gotten me very heated. I need to like bring it down. Bring it down. I don't give a shit about this entire Colourpop collection. If I had one wish for the remainder of this year, it's that we would have no more IP collections. I'm so fucking sick of them. From SpongeBob to fucking Twilight. Why have we had so many SpongeBob collections? That's been weird. I don't care. I don't want to see them anymore. I want to see brands actually coming up with their own legitimate ideas and not being like, here's some slop and we've put an IP on top of it so that your nostalgic little brains will go off and get it. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. Relying on an IP to sell mediocre makeup, unheard of, and that's exactly the issue. They will do better once they see that they don't reach their sales goals several years in a row. Well, that's the thing. here to IP collections, especially food and cartoons. Seriously, that's the thing. It was fine initially when it was like sporadically here and there. You kind of go, oh, okay, it's a little bit kitsch, whatever. But when it became a frequent thing, oh my God, I finally made it. I'm so sorry. I had a sleepless night. Darling, don't you worry. Sleep is more important. It's all right. I've just been whinging ad nauseum. I like some lip collection, but if it's not one I like, I won't buy it. And if the lip is good, then we'll see. Totally fair. Totally fair. Like, but I think too many brands are relying on, here's the IP, you'll buy it no matter what. That's just my opinion. I'm sick of IPs. I don't want to see anymore. I just don't. I don't care. I don't care. However, next one, I think is kind of interesting. And the reason why I bring this up is I actually saw Robert Welsh using this one on TikTok the other day. And he was showing it like while moving. And it did look really, really nice. So this is Tear Tear. This is their Prism Highlighter Duo. They say mirror differences in appearance may be observed or minor appearances due to the formula's natural characteristics. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, essentially there's two formulas and they're available now for $22. And I feel like that is not bad. Well, I loved the Dexter collection from Lethal. See, this is the thing, Mimi. Because there are some brands who do IPs really, really well, I think they get lost in the mix, right? When everyone else is doing bullshit, right? Like Lethal, I feel, have done their IPs very, very well, right? I'm not into SpongeBob, but I feel like actually that SpongeBob palette was one of the more ones that I could see linked with it. But I feel like almost like the cheaper brands in particular, the likes of Colourpop, Revolution, She Glam, etc., there's no thought put into the IPs at all. That drives me nuts. So if I could limit their access to IPs, I'd really appreciate that. Can somebody give me that power? I don't know. But these are the Tear Tear highlighters. I think they're looking quite nice. However, one of the historic issues with Tear Tear, and I feel like not enough people talk about it, is their lack of inclusivity, right? I get, you know, they're an Asian brand, blah, blah, blah. But still, you know, if you're on the market, make sure that there's a decent shade range. Because when these are the only three that are out there. And I just can't see this going beyond a medium skin tone. Now, they have shown it, to be fair, on a variety of skin tones. But I just, again, wonder as to the extent to which that is as natural looking on deeper skin tones as it does for fairer skin tones. Do you know what I mean? The She Glam Matrix one was good too, and a very fair price. Totally fair. Devastatingly gorgeous t-shirt. Oh, I thank you. My Ziggy Stardust cat. See, this is the thing. Sometimes they're really good and then sometimes they're just like all over the place. But it depends on who you ask. Because some people will be really into an IP and they'll be like, no, they've absolutely butchered it. And some people will really not like it again. I'm not against IP collabs. I'm just wondering how, coming from a brand that had its own vision, you decide that you'd rather rely on IP rather than from time to time going back to your roots. Yeah, I mean, Glamlight is the biggest one for that. I don't know what Glamlight is outside of their IPs. They don't really have an identity. Like, as much as you might like whinge about other brands, right? Say with Huda, I know what her identity is. She loves a purple and a pink. She's like, I'm going to put a purple and a pink into an eyeshadow palette and you're going to say thank you, right? We know what Natasha Denona is like. We know what she tends to put into her palettes. There's a very clear kind of link in there. IPs are an expensive trap for indie brands that don't go all in, as it's a huge expense for not enough pizzazz oftentimes. Oh, the highlighters have a do the highlighters have a transparent base? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, Mimi. Because like based upon these pictures, it looks like they might. But when I went onto the website, there wasn't a lot of information on it. So I don't want to say that they do, in case they don't. But I know that Robert did try one, but he's relatively fair as well. So like it wouldn't, you know, it wasn't showing off as like giving any sort of a cast. But I'd like to see this on deeper skin tones. I know that sometimes Darcy gets tear, so I'd be interested to see what they look like on her. But some of these are really pretty, and I feel like for $22, like it's not bad. Or am I insane? Like I like the look of some of these. And tear does come to boots, so don't know why I stuck my tongue out. Who do I think I am? Asian brands seem to be aggressively non-inclusive, but then they're really only focused on their own market. Yeah, which seems to be a really odd move. You know, like I get that they're like, oh, we stick to our own market, but then it's like, but you're also selling outside of your own market, so like, have a little think about it. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I think this has some promise. This has some promise. I think if I'm going to get any, I probably get this one, the Purple Meteor, because I think that is so interesting. And if it's the same price here once it hits like boots, if it's like 20-ish euro, fuck it, I'll get it. I will. I'll get it. Said the person who was like, I'm trying to be more mindful. But let's be real, I've gotten through all of this and been like, I won't get this, I won't get this, I won't get this. I'm interested because I haven't gotten anything from Tear. Bar an eye cream, which I do actually quite like. A lot of Asia is darker skinned. That's the thing, Mimi. But there's terrible colorism. Like they have actual brands that have ads that are like Fair and Lovely, how to essentially bleach your skin. So some of it that gets reflected within the beauty industry there as well. There's just a lot of stuff that we have to consider, like, you know. But I don't understand why they don't kind of extend it. I'd like to see what this is. I want to get my hands on it just to... I've not bought any of the cushion foundations. They just haven't been interested to me. I think almost because everyone was like, oh my God. I was like, no, I just can't be dealing with that. As soon as somebody says something is in style, I'm like, go fuck yourself. I have no interest in this. Stop telling me to buy this. But this is potentially interesting. I feel like for two different sort of formulas, two different sort of shades for that price, I don't hate it. I don't. Now, if they could come out with some extra shades, make them a little bit extra interesting, not against it. So it's not a bad one. Then we're on to POV. So POV Beauty, which is owned by Michaela Noguera. She's kind of been plugging away at things. She has two new Snatch It items. This one is the Snatch It face ampoule. Basically, it's retailing for $42. I have all the information down in the PDF. There's PDRN. It's known in Korean skincare for its ability to lift and enhance elasticity at the foundational level. From my understanding of what's kind of occurred with her skincare brand is people have outlined that they're very happy with it to be part of essentially their skin prep pre-makeup, and it's apparently quite good for that. Now, I can't say because I've not really tried, I have not tried anything from her brand, so I don't really know. It's a creamy ingredients list, very dimethicone based, has a baked and jelly option, so I think it'll be good. Just had a look. Thank you, Daniela. So I'll add to list. Okay, perfect. I was surprised to see locals who are as dark as I am in Japan. But again, when you're a minority, you can't expect to be priority for brands, which is sad. Yeah, and I don't understand like, I don't understand why a brand would do that. POV, who would buy from her? Seemingly quite a few people. She's not my jam. I keep to my own thing. I'm not going to shit on her because I just don't want to have that level of negativity coming from me. I don't feel she's trustworthy in terms of her reviews or whatever. But I don't wish any badness on her. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I hope life goes well for her. I have heard some people saying that this is good. I don't know. Well, not this, but like as in her skincare is good. I don't know. I will say I'm being very picky just because my skin is whatever. So I don't know. I personally would buy from her. The reviews are solid, good ingredients list, high quality and well priced. Regardless of opinions, if it's good, it's good. Yeah, that's fair enough. And I'm in the tan category, mind you. Fair enough. Yeah, she's a funny one. Like, she's a contentious character, but she gets her sales. Like, the brand is still going. It seems to be doing okay. I do feel like those lip kits she was doing were questionable, but like, there's salmon derived PDRN, low molecular weight, blah blah blah, all that sort of thing. Fair enough. I'm personally okay right now for skincare, but she's still at it, so fair enough. There's also an eye cream, and that is part of the Snatch It line as well. That's $38. Again, that has another PDRN thing in it. Same sort of thing that seems to be in the other formula. So there you go. Yeah, it just seems to be something that is still going about. So I figured we'd have a little chat about it. I don't care about POV. I just don't see myself hopping in the PDRN train. I skipped the snail mucin trend, so no thank you. Yeah, I think, see, I'm a vegetarian. So the idea of like, if it's from fish or animals, I just can't be dealing with that. I just can't. Like, if it's for somebody else, totally grand. I don't give a shit what other people do. Just for me, I personally wouldn't feel comfortable. That's why I stayed away from the snail mucin thing, because I was like, oh, I don't feel comfortable with it. PDRN is meant to be really good. However, I have a severe shellfish allergy and not much information on how safe that is. Yeah, you're as well to stay away from that, Daniela. That makes absolutely no sense to go near. We're near the end now. This is Sepulchre by VE Cosmetics. We've been wondering what the story is with this. This is releasing on the 31st. Now, my lovely friend Joe, who goes by Noir Artistry on Instagram, on YouTube, and on TikTok, they actually have a code that will get you money off. It's Joe Noir. They do get a commission from it. So if you're looking at this and thinking, have a little think about it. This I think is quite interesting because it is like an all-in-one sort of thing. Like, you could use this, yes, as your basic like eye palette, but you could also use this as a face palette. I think that's really quite smart. It's a valid concern, and I wish they had more information on this. Yeah. Does it help just to put it on the skin? That's the question. I mean, people are saying it helps them. I'd like some like really clinical studies on that. Like, I avoid a lot of collagen-based products for the same reason, as it's often marine-based as well as bovine. I love VE. I have so many products from them. Yeah, they tend to be a very solid brand. Like, people really tend to like them. I think this is a really solid offering from them. Like, I can see this being a very versatile palette. Like, you could just use this as a face palette, but it can be used as an eye. So I don't think it's a bad one. I don't know how much it's going to be. That looks interesting. I can't wait to see that swatched, because it looks like there's a bit of a shimmery shim in it. Thank you. But like, that's not bad. Like, I feel like you could get some decent use out of that. Not a bad one. Again, Joe Noir for money off. The last thing that we're talking about is Blend Bunny have changed to their logo. So it means that something is happening. And just last night, they dropped this. They said it's a little appetizer for our angels. Chanel Diablo put together a beautiful palette for you all. I was going to say y'all. So it looks like we're going to get a red tone palette. It does feel quite soon after we just had the haunted palette, you know? So I'm kind of like, oh, this will be interesting to see what the story is. I'm so sad that they're not going to be in Glisten Cosmetics for the next while. Hopefully we'll come back soon. I feel like that is going to impact their sales, which sucks for them. I don't know what the story is, because I know that they're sometimes on Monolith. As to whether Monolith are going through the same thing, I don't know. This is interesting though. You know, the reds. Personally, I don't tend to wear a lot of reds, just because I'm so pale that I would look diseased, and it's best not to go with that. I love that the kittens are actually being really good now. Holly's doing this. She's adorable. Oh my God. I'll show them to you when we're done. But yeah, it looks fine. We'll see what the story is. I remember that lunatic palette. It was so good. Yeah, it does look like that. I feel like VE looks like they have really stepped it up the last couple of releases. I agree. Their last couple of releases have caught my eye. I like this direction as I find their older palettes products a bit dated. And this comes back to my previous point of, if you are a brand, you should be trying to improve. Don't stick with where you are. And I really admire the fact that VE are actually thinking about, here's how I can move on. Here's how I can change things. I appreciate that. And I think they'll stick with it, and they'll stick to getting like a good population behind them because they're committed to that. I was seeing the package and sneak peeks and was so excited thinking this new VE was an eyeshadow palette, not a contour palette. Well, see, my understanding is that the VE is, yes, you could use it as a contour, but you could also use it as an eyeshadow palette as well. Like, you can do that. Red lips for Teresa. Oh yeah, red on the lips, 100%. Monolith is still listed as an EU retailer on the website, so I think they're fine. Yeah, interesting. Glen Bunny told me they are still selling at Monolith. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. I'll snag off Monolith in the future then. Yeah, fabulous. Sucks for Glisten that the whole thing occurred in that way. But yeah, that looks like that's what we're getting. But that, my gorgeous friends, is it. Thank you so much for watching. I do have my favourite comment, and this is from Fuwari. I'm not sure if I've pronounced it right, but there you go. Fuwari HD. Second comment to add that I'm very much looking forward to that Artitude video of yours. I'm very naughty. I'm very, very naughty. I haven't actually filmed it yet. But I will. That's on my list. I'm going to try and do that today after my colleague comes and I teach her some statistics. I'm actually teaching her statistics. I don't know why I did that. That was meant to be a more like, I don't know what I was doing. I'll be honest with you, lads. My sleep schedule is not great. Is VE all matte? It looks like the whitey shade is more of a shimmer. So you could use that as like an inner corner. Thank you. I think VE has an eyeshadow palette in the works too. Some of the swatches don't match this palette. Ooh, interesting. I'm intrigued. Am I allowed to share that because I have more time again? I plan to come out of makeup retirement. Yes. Oh, I'll say it for you if you don't. So Daniela has taken a pause to her academics just due to health stuff. She's going back in again next year, but because she'd had a lot of health things, it would have been too difficult to catch up in the amount of time that she had, and it would have put her under unnecessary stress. So if you love creative, fun, interesting, grungy makeup, go and have a little look at her Instagram, her TikTok, all that sort of thing. She'll have some pictures, videos, etc. up there. She is an absolute makeup guru. Obviously she's a qualified MUA, so she knows what she's doing. But have a little gawk. She'll have some nice things up for you guys. But yes, that's it, my gorgeous friends. I might show you the kittens just so you know that they are still alive, because they did stop. There they are. Look at that. And previously, for those of you who were here, oh, look at you. For those of you who were here in the first few minutes, you would have noticed that they were exceptionally naughty. They're like, yes, if we're not being naughty, I guarantee that when my colleague comes over and I have to try and teach her SPSS, that they're going to be all over the place. Yes, aren't her looks fantastic? So keep a little eye out. She's going to have looks up, and maybe a few of you could try recreating them. And she's just brilliant. I love Daniela. She's stuck with me, whether she likes it or not. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for this. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to do a typical R&R. It was the week that was in it. There was a lot going on. But we'll be back to normal next week. Thank you so much for joining. I super appreciate it. And have a fabulous rest of your weekend. Bye.